What's up, guys? I'm Caleb.
I'm Nick.
And welcome to Tool Time Tuesday. Alright guys, so in this video we're going to take our 1991 Jeep YJ and install a full clutch kit.
So let's get into it.
Woo!
So first step here is going to be remove the skid plate. Skid plate is what holds up your transmission and your transfer case. So we have our big 6-ton jack stand underneath the transmission right now. We're going to use our jack, our floor jack, right underneath the belly pan so that we can hold it up in place while we remove these 6 bolts. 3 on this side, 3 on that side. And we're also going to need to undo the bushing that connects the transfer case and also these 2 bolts. This one's 14 millimeter, this one's 15, and then your transfer case or your skid plate is 3/4 inch.
That's right. And just so that you know, up here you'll need an adjustable wrench to hold the bolt that is on the other side of this one, and it should come out pretty easy.
Remove it up here.
Yep.
Remove it down there.
Yep.
This would be nicer because then, no, actually, I take that back.
Down there would be nicer. That's what he did.
Those bolts are way easier to get to.
Yeah, those are.
I say we do those.
I agree.
Great.
Sweet.
This is not stock though. That's not what a normal YJ looks like. That's an 8.8.
Yeah.
They'll normally have little straps like we have in the front.
All right, rear drive shaft is out. So now we're going to focus on the front drive shaft, and we're going to disconnect it here. This is a stock drive shaft in the front here, and we're going to disconnect it here, and it's free spinning, which is nice. 8 millimeter. So that's what you guys need. 4 of these 8 millimeter bolts.
Now that we use the crowbar to get this free, we're gonna get this out of the way. And these are the caps that you're taping. If these were to fall out, there's a whole bunch of needle bearings that'll fall out. So we're just gonna tape this whole thing so don't lose any of those. World's smallest piece of tape.
We need some more. Make sure you get a friend that knows what length tape to get. Oh, you had to take that
Maybe not
out?
painter's tape.
It was blue. Blue's pretty.
Yeah.
All right.
Here, I'll hold it.
Yeah, you hold it over there.
Yeah, yeah. Very nice.
You got it?
Good work. Oh, God.
That'll hold, baby. That'll hold.
Yeah, there you
That
go.
will hold. All right. Now it's all taped up.
Right. And,
And let me get a bungee cord. And we'll
yeah, let's bungee this somewhere else. So.
All right. So now that that's up and out of the way, we're going to go ahead and go over to the shifter bracket. So there's 2 bolts here. There is a bolt here, which is 5/8, and there's a bolt here, which is a 1/2. So you just need to take those out, and then there's a rod right here, and you just have to pry it and push it that way, and it comes out a little hole over here. You guys should see it. Hopefully you can see it in the video, but if you're doing this project, you will definitely see it. Okay, so this next part is really tricky. So first, subscribe to the channel, and second, pay attention. So this plate is here on the top. So this whole assembly, this is your shifter and your 4-wheel drive selector here, and it sits like this. Now there's a whole bunch of little, I think they're 8 millimeter screws, right?
Yeah.
Around 8 millimeter. And so you undo all of these, and the shifter, this is your shifter, and it just slips right on and it comes right off. So that's no problem. The trickier thing is the shifter. So if you look here, Nick is going to show you how this kind of looks. So you see how there's like a locking L-shaped mechanism? What you're going to do is you're going to push down on this and slide it counterclockwise. And you'll see when it's sitting in here, you can get your fingers in here and just twist counterclockwise, and it will unlock the shifter from the transmission. So that's how you do that.
We're at the point now where we're going to be removing the hydraulic lines that come from the slave cylinder. Now, the proper way to do it is to remove, or actually disconnect, this little assembly here. But we're having trouble with that, so you could also loosen these bolts, these two nuts right here, or since we're replacing the slave cylinder, whichever one should be replacing, I'm just going to cut it right here. We got a pan underneath so that the hydraulic fluid gets drained into it, and then we'll disconnect it later. All right, let's see what happens. I might make a total freaking mess.
Might,
will, definitely will. Ready? Yeah.
Ooh, did it not make a mess?
No, it didn't.
Nothing came in the bucket.
Because I crushed it so well.
Nice.
I crushed it closed.
That's awesome.
All right, well, that's one way to do it.
On the passenger side up here, there is one clip that you have to undo on the wiring harness on this side here.
And the speedometer wire, which has a little plastic clip, and pulls out. And your speedometer cable, which in our case, we think we actually have enough slack. So we're not going to undo it, but that's where you do it. And above the transfer case, we have these breather hoses. Actually, I'm not sure what that is. That's an electrical connector. And then this is your breather hose. Probably don't need to disconnect that. Just make sure that where it's going is free. The transmission crank position sensor is right up there. It's right at the top portion of the bell housing. And that's actually kind of hard to get to and disconnect. So we're going to leave it. Instead, we're just going to disconnect the wire up in the engine bay, which is going to be right here. The wire comes up behind the engine and it goes to here. And at that point, these literally just pull out. There you go. Look at that. And she's free.
Nice. Okay, so the next thing that needs to be taken off is the starter. And the starter's on the driver's side here, and you're gonna need two bolts. One on this side, which is a 14 millimeter, and one on this side, which is a 15 millimeter. We already have the socket on there, and you should be able to rip this bad boy right out.
Whenever you're working on this starter and you have a solenoid right next to it, make sure that the rubber boot on this red cable is still in place and fully covering that lug, because that wire goes directly to the battery and is always hot, and you could short something out real quick, and that would not be good. So make sure that's protected before you remove the starter.
Very good. And I already cracked this bolt here, so let's get this removed, shan't we?
Eggs.
Next step is the bell housing removal, and this is 18 millimeter bolts, so you need to have a friend or two hands, and you're
Oh dear.
all right.
I like that. You should keep that in there.
All right, I should. Size 18 millimeters here, so just go ahead and work your way around the bell housing and get these removed.
There you go.
Nice. One honorable mention is this bolt on the back here. This is actually a 13 millimeter, so it's a little bit too short of an area to get a socket into, but if you have a ratcheting wrench, perfect application for it.
So in order to get to the two bolts on the top of the bell housing, we're going to lower the transmission a little bit more, but we don't want to put too much pressure on the exhaust since it's connected directly to the headers up top. So easiest way, in my opinion, is just to remove this entire bracket. It's just 4 5/8 bolts, and the whole bracket will come down, and the exhaust will then be a little loose.
And we recently did this, so they're not too hard to get out.
Yep.
But they shouldn't be too much of a problem for you anyways. 3 and...
Go.
And there we go. No problem.
Perfectly named.
All right. Hey.
Hey.
Look at that sweet face. All right. What do we got going on here, Nick? Looks like okay. So
E-Torx.
E-Torx. We just purchased some because
They're the virtual electronic
stupid
ones.
Jeeps have them. There are E-Torx on the transmission and the engine, and we're gonna figure out what size we need, and we will update you on what size it is. And the size is an E12 to get these. There's two of them, right?
Yep.
Two of them. And they're in the front.
Or you could probably pop down from up top through the shifter.
Oh, through the shifter. Good idea. Okay, here it comes. All right.
Yep. Right like that.
So they're at the top of the belt housing here.
Up here and here.
Well, that's really good.
Never mind. We're gonna need something stronger.
All right, there's two more top bolts. Nick, can you point at one?
Yeah, around 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock.
There we go. And it is a 13 millimeter. So we're gonna see what we can do here.
You don't have to hold it on the back.
No, you don't. That's nice.
There you go.
And out it comes. All right, same thing on the other side.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll have the same amount of space. You can kind of see it. Nick's gonna get to it here in a second.
Here she goes.
Perfect. And now the transmission should be free to go. Yeah, okay. Now that the transmission is down, now we're gonna take off the 6 bolts on the flywheel, and they are size, what size are they?
1/2 inch. So
Perfect.
it connects the clutch to the pressure plate.
Got it. Work together.
Yep. There we go.
Nice. Oh, what, are you gonna make a sandwich?
No, just removing a pilot bearing.
With bread?
With bread.
All right, let's do it. For people that don't know what's going on here, we got a pilot bearing in here that we're gonna remove, and we're gonna use the old bread trick. Right, Nick?
Yeah.
So this isn't for
I
like
hear,
a ham and cheese sandwich. This is for a bearing sandwich.
I hear Jeeps don't like the crust, so I removed the crust.
Oh, that's very nice of you.
Yeah.
That is a nice shot right there. All right, so let's see here. So we're gonna push this in here.
Yeah. There you go.
Ooh. All right. Load her up. Nice, nice.
Nice. Ooh, pulling it back out. All right.
No, that was just the extra. There's still plenty of bread in there. Maybe a little bit more. Let's get it. Whack.
Whacker.
Did you see the second season yet? Ooh, buddy.
Yeah.
Come see the action. It's coming out. It's coming out.
Are you filming?
I'm filming. Woo!
All right.
Let's not be too excited. But these people need to know we're professionals. Just
Yeah.
kidding. We are not professionals.
Sounds like you're right up against the block, so maybe it needs more bread.
Yep. Let's get more bread in there. It's coming out. You see it?
Yeah, I do see.
They're so good.
It,
Nick,
yeah.
big things are happening.
Wonderful.
You need to see this.
For you.
Oh, we hit the block. All right. Look at that thing. That thing is almost all the way out. Sonny boy. Boop. More bread. What would Ronnie Coleman do at this time of hour?
I got an email.
From Ronnie?
Not quite.
Okay.
From a guy at work. And And his name's Ron Coleman.
Ron Coleman. Look at that!
Whoa!
Oh, she came
Look at that.
But there's so much bread in there.
I know.
What do we do about that? No, that's so cool. All right, that's how you get a bearing on. Just shove bread in there.
Brake clean.
Yep.
Get that in your eyes.
All right.
Put it in. I'll tell you if it looks straight.
Right
It
there.
looks pretty straight. Why don't we just give it a little tap, tap, tap at first? I think more down.
Down like here.
Ah, there
That's
is.
it.
That's the one.
Now we got our new pilot bearing in.
Glad we did that.
Me too. That was fun.
Yeah.
Good job, YouTube.
All right, we got the old and new clutch. So you can actually see these rivets in here. There's very little material left. So this had definitely been in there a while. Much deeper on the new one. They are so kind to write flywheel side on it, so you know that this is the side that faces the engine. We cleaned up the friction plate there, and now it's ready to go.
Now that that's all tightened up, you pull the key. I think. I've never done one of these before. There it comes. Here it comes. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Oh, watch my elbow. This thing's gonna fly out and then hit my elbow. We did it! In our model of Jeep, you have the internal slave cylinder here, so you will have to remove the bell housing. So we're going to remove the slave cylinder by removing the O-ring here. We've got a stubby flat head, and looks like that's going to do the trick.
That's just gonna break it right off. Excellent. That's not exactly what we wanted.
Oh my goodness, that thing's worn out, huh?
Yep.
All right,
And it should just come right off.
try it out.
There we go.
You just got to get
Give it a
the...
little tug.
Boom.
There it is.
Very nice. So here's your old one, and here's your new one. And you can see that this is compressed. It's got these plastic tabs on. Those stay on. They'll break free once you pump the clutch a little bit. As you can see here, they just break free. But we're going to have to get another one of these little washers. All right, good news is it comes with a replacement, so that's pretty good.
A little backlighting there.
Yeah, you like that?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, you don't like that? Well, it's just some backlighting.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
I got nothing to say.
A bunch of criticism. See this? See?
Perfect.
Look at it.
All right.
All right, cool. So now we got the slave cylinder going back in. So we got the bushing reassembled. There's just like 2 slots in the side. You'll see. You can put it on and off pretty easy. So you're gonna slide this onto the shaft here. And what Nick has in his left hand is a clip that goes right here. But if you try and put this through with the clip on, it gets caught up. So remove the clip and you can put it on the back side. So just line these suckers up. The lines have some movement. And it'll go right on.
There you go.
Very nice. There it is. It's almost there. Ooh, nice. Top and there, bottom's in. All right, so you got to finagle this back on.
Boom.
Nice. Just clips right into place.
And that's it. Leave these straps on.
Yeah. And you'll see why. You pretty much pump the clutch and it releases at that point. So
Yeah, they'll break off when...
now we got to get this reinstalled. All right, guys, as you can see, the transmission is back mounted. We just did all the bolts, and you saw the time lapse where we kind of fiddled with this getting on. Kind of tough the way we did it. We figured 2 sets of hands would make it easier with the jack, which it did happen. You just have to finagle quite a bit to get it on there. So we recommend a transmission jack. You can get them for like 90 bucks at Harbor Freight. We decided that we would go you know, stronger, not smarter, or whatever that saying is. But we got it made it up. So bolted up. I just put the starter on. So next is to reassemble the drive shafts, and then make sure all of your connectors are plugged in, and then we're going up top for the shifter linkage.
Nice.
See if all the hard work we did was worth it. Get a good feeling in the clutch. She shifts amazing.
Look at that.
Couldn't even see her breath, dude.
Well, as you can tell, it is a little bit warmer now. It's been a few months, wearing different clothes.
Yep.
But here we are, and thank you for watching.
Yeah, no, it was a good project. The Jeep runs flawlessly and it shifts flawlessly. The brakes kind of went out a little bit. I almost died going through an intersection. So that's where the Jeep's been through the winter. It's just been sitting, and we fixed the brakes. It wasn't anything crazy, but the Jeep is up and running. It shifts phenomenal, and that is gonna kind of complete it for this video. So if you have any questions about anything that we did, you know, we tried to be detailed about, you know, what size nuts and bolts that were around. If you guys are hitting any snags or anything like that, feel free to hit us up in the comments, and we'll go ahead and answer any questions you may have. But I hope this was helpful for you. If you don't mind liking the video, commenting, and subscribing for more. And we'll see you guys on the next Tool Time Tuesday.